Hello there my fellow iRacers, and welcome to today's video where we're taking a look at the brand new Gen 3 V8 Supercars that got released alongside the new iRacing 2025 Season 1 build. Now I have been really looking forward to getting these out on track and finding out what these big Gen 3 V8 monsters are going to be like when you hit the track. So I've decided to pick Phillip Island on a lovely sunny afternoon here in Melbourne to race the AI.
Okay, Jason, the next car.
And before we dive into these cars themselves, let me just give you a quick rundown of some of the other new content from a road racer's perspective that came out with the new
Still there.
Season 1 2025 build. Of course, we've got the big headlining Ferrari
Clear left. Starts okay.
P499 hypercar
Car left.
with its less than ideal hybrid implementation,
There it is.
if the forums are anything to go by. We also got a new GT3 car in the form of the Acura NSX, which I actually picked up even though I don't need another GT3 car because I think it looks absolutely stunning. Included in the base content, so as long as you're subscribed to iRacing, technically it's a free car. We got the cheeky little BMW M2 CS Cup car, which is a total blast to drive, and if you want me to do a video on that, let me know in the comments. We also, as I say, got two Gen 3 spec supercars, and on the track front for road racers, we got the Thruxton circuit, based here in the UK, and that's an awesome circuit. Fastest circuit in the UK, and you can feel it when you try and hang on to something with minimal downforce around the fast and flowing back section of that track. Love racing around there, especially in the touring cars that there are in iRacing. But and one last thing that affects everybody, and that is the
Still there.
refresh of the track debris system, which is all, you know, part of their dynamic track surface. It now has a lot more realistic debris pickup. So if you go off track and you pick up the mud, the dirt, the gravel, the dust, you know, marbles as the tyres wear throughout the race, all that lot now is dragged out on the track, and it actually sits in the location on the track where it was dragged out to, and until the cars start going through it and clearing it again, it will affect your grip levels. You know, it will get caught on the tyres, so you'll have a little bit less grip for a corner or two until you start to get rid of that. Get rid of the debris. Again, there have been some issues with that, especially with the marbles on longer distance racing, but as is always the case,
Clear right.
iRacing normally implement a new feature, bring out a new build, and there's normally about 5 hot fixes within a week just to tweak and dial in stuff once the user base get a hold of it. So I'm sure that's all going to be sorted. It's not been a major issue for me because I don't do a lot of endurance style racing. Right, back to these V8 cars and the reason why I'm making this video. So we've got
On your left.
the two cars that are currently taking part in the Supercar series in Australia, and it's of course the Ford Mustang, one of the staples of the V8 Supercar series.
Jason, the next
And we are in this a Chevy Camaro, another V8. Now I chose the Chevy because I'm just not really a Ford man. No rhyme or reason behind it. Just never really got
car left.
into that particular brand.
Clear left.
But, you know, it doesn't really matter which one of the two cars you pick, because, you know, with balance of performance and shared parts,
36.
oh, yeah. They are very similar to drive,
Relax. Focus.
and will give you the same sort of lap times. You know, there are key differences. They both look very different, and they both sound very different, with a very distinctive V8 from that Ford Mustang. You just, you know, I will give them that. Once you've heard of V8 Mustang, you can never forget it. From a driving perspective, these Gen 3 models, they are much improved over the previous versions. The gearbox now is a proper full-on sequential. So before, there was a lot of, you know, blipping, lifting. A little bit of clutch work was required to get these things up and down the box without causing, you know, the car to suffer, you know, instability, especially under braking. If you didn't get the gear changes down the box right, it was quite easy to lock the rear diff and basically sort of effectively pull the handbrake. So you quite often ended up locking up into a corner with the rear end. A lot of that's now been sorted, so they're easier to drive, but do not mistake that for being easy to drive. These things have still got more power than grip. They still weigh an absolute ton, and as is the case with iRacing, you know, they're very realistically modelled CAD design. They use all the official teams and manufacturers' data in building these cars for the service, so you feel that weight. You feel the car want to push through a corner rather than turn in, because of the weight, because of the power, and it makes them so rewarding, so challenging, you know. But if you can actually get one of these things to slow down and pitch into a corner, and then if you can tame all that power on the exit with the feathering the throttle, it's really satisfying. Because these things are as squirrely as a squirrely thing could be. I'm telling you now, they will almost break traction in any gear. And it wasn't expecting to overtake there.
Clear left. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes. Good pass. Well done.
This is what makes these so special.
The guy in front is brown. Car.
Third gear,
17.
and the rear wheels are braking traction. Now, of course, here I am racing the AI.
Right. Still there. Still there. Clear right.
Which, as you can see, will put up a good battle. I brought this car knowing that the likelihood that I would ever get to race it online is pretty remote,
Car number 4.
because I'm in the UK. These things have got a massive following in Australia, and there is a huge time zone. I don't think we could be any further apart. But thankfully, the AI in iRacing is really good. Woo, some of the best out there.
Car is Hughes. Car number.
So I've bought this purely because I wanted to race a Gen 3 spec supercar, because they're really hard to find in any other sim racing title. So I've bought it on the understanding that this is going to be one of my AI cars. I've bought several cars in iRacing that I bought them because you can't get them in any other title, and they are cars I just use if I want to jump on and race the AI and just have some fun.
Nicely done.
And I don't mind that. I'll still get my value for money out of it. But you want to have a look. Have a look at the series participation. See which races get a good field, get a good grid, and what times of the day it is and what days they are. Then you can make a decision whether it's right for you from a value perspective. But I think they are absolutely amazing to drive. Third gear, look at that. Of course, you've got no ABS, you've got no traction control. So you have to modulate your braking, your throttle application. So it's very engaging. Which, oh, look at that. See, too much speed onto the apex. The car, because of how much it weighs and how little aero there is at the front, it just washes out. You just can't. It's funny because these are big Aussie V8s, but you can't abuse them. They have to be driven far more, with a lot more finesse than I can muster. I can tell you that now. I'll never be able to extract the limit of these. But they are absolutely fantastic to drive. And for me, worth every penny. But then again,
16th place. Okay.
I love...
Well done, mate. Good finish.
I love touring cars, I love tin tops, so this sort of thing for me, yeah, I was always going to buy them, even if it's just to lap them. It's a car I've been looking for in other sim racing titles, and I couldn't believe it when I found out iRacing were going to bring them to their service. That was just, as soon as the builder finished downloading and installing, it was buy. But they sound great, they look great, and they feel fantastic to race. I just love the way that you can dance them on the throttle, always, they're just about to break traction all the time under acceleration. You just have to think about it all the time. Amazing, amazing. Now, please let me know in the comments. Have you tried out the new build? Have you, what did you buy? If anything, was there nothing on the lineup this time round that grabbed your attention? Let me know in the comments. Also, have you found Gen 3 spec touring cars in any other sim racing title? Please get in the comment section and let me know. Also, let me know if you want me to take a look at the BMW M2 Cup Car. If you fancy hearing my rambling thoughts and impressions of that little car. I have been racing it this week online at Alton Park. Had a win. Come on. I'm not completely useless.
Watch your speed. Pit lane speed limit is 45 miles per hour.
But in the meantime, let me just pull in here out the way. Let these lot go by. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little race against the AI in the new Chevrolet Camaro Gen 3 Supercar.
The end of the session.
I love them. I think anybody who's into tin tops will love them too. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it. And I'll see you out in track. In the meantime, happy sim racing. Bye bye.